Hello everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to the Monday edition of my bi-weekly behind-the-scenes DM-only live stream Crafting the Deep, in which I build, write, and prepare for our next session of Call from the Deep. If you're playing characters at Gottwald, Moxavro, or Twirl, this stream is not meant for you. It'll be full of spoilers. For the rest of you, welcome. Stream our D&D sessions live on YouTube every Friday. You can join our official Discord server with the invite link in the description below. Yes, I'm trying not to cough again. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. For our campaign, we use Roll20. For streaming, I use OBS Studio. I'm drinking some coffee, so hopefully that'll help soothe my throat a little bit. It's gotten real bad in the evenings these days. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I can't just quite shake it. Hope everybody's having a good week. It is Monday. It's already been a long Monday for us. We had a lot going on. Drill team and football game and all this stuff. But I am here. We're going to talk about some D&D. We have made it to Chapter 4 of Call from the Deep. So getting pretty late in here. I guess you could consider all the pirate Lord stuff to be Chapter 4 as well. But I kind of added that all in there based on some stuff that was in Call from the Deep. But Driftwood Docks is the first main area of this chapter, which Refus, patron and fan of the show, has provided an excellent map that I like a lot better. It's larger and I can actually fit a ship in it. So I think that's the one we're going to roll with. And you can see I've got tokens in place. I have to zoom out. I'm at 50% right now, and you can't even see there's a giant map, which it needs to be because it's a big old, ship thing, which we're going from one ship encounter to another, but this one is very different than a ship-on-ship battle. This is, them having to thread through some giant, like, crashed island ships with defenses everywhere, like a bunch of thugs with ballista and ogres with war drums and minotaurs and dudes ready to jump on the ship and attack them. So depending on what they do, they may be able to sneak by a little bit, but chances are this is going to be a bit of a battle, but it doesn't have to be a fight till the bitter end, because they can just try and last a certain amount of rounds, I guess, and try to make their way past this area, which that could happen. I think I do like to keep the skill challenge piece of it. I don't know if I'll do a DC 20, but maybe it does need to be. I mean, they're going to be level 10 going into this, which, by the way, they are higher level. Excuse me. I think they are higher level than what this was originally designed for, because I just checked the book, because it's a little easier to tell where the advancements are. And it looks like they don't even make... Or it looks like they level up to like 9 after they even do Tentrix's lair. Let's see if it tells... There we go. After the character is defeated seeking Tentrix, they should reach at least 9th level. Well, they were already 9th level, and I'm just now leveling up to 10th level, and they haven't even gotten to this area yet. So there may be opportunities where we need to scale things up a bit to make them a little more difficult, because the players are actually leveling a little bit more than what's already there. So it's interesting to note. Maybe we can make Tentrix's floating layer a little more challenging. I don't know where we want to add little bits in there, or just try and continue the pacing of, limited long rest and that kind of thing. So maybe DC 20 is the way to go. Skill challenge. I like the idea of having the magic compass they have take them to Tentrix's lair, but then they still have to navigate. And maybe the compass like quickly changes directions, or this creature comes up. I don't know how I want to do it. The zombie dragon turtle that's layering around this area and acts as a guard, because the players, even though they have the compass, they don't have any kind of special ship or anything. They're still in the original ship, so they would have to avoid that creature. And I think instead of doing some kind of big combat thing, we can just do some kind of fun skill challenge here, and hopefully we'll have fun with it. I may not stick with it that long, and honestly, the only penalty is damage to their ship, which, if they also play their cards right in this next area, won't even matter, because they'll probably get a new sexy flying ship that they can use to get to the actual final area. I did miss the fact that there were bandits here. God, I hate not having a voice. It really sucks. It really, really sucks. No, the ship. Oh my gosh, I'm really losing it. The ship need to make it through in one piece. Giant could target the ship and force them to abandon ship. Yeah, that could happen. Excuse me. My God. Ugh. Just losing it. This happened, what, last week or 2 weeks ago, where I had to just like stop. It's so bad. This could be the moment where they really lose their. I mean, this is the what Red Dead Redemption 2 moment where, like, spoilers at the end of that game where I think you dramatically lose the horse or something. Even though you've been with your, you can change horses all the time, but they do kind of this like nifty cinematic where it's like, oh no, the horse is actually like dead, and it's not gonna respawn. It's the Aerith from Final Fantasy moment where it's like, why don't we just use a Phoenix down? Well, because she needs to die right now. Damn it! Look at me spoiling multiple games. Yeah, so you could be like, this is the moment the ship needs to die because of the damage it's taking. That would be fantastic. They would still have to technically make it to the bay where the Tentrix's lair is, but presumably you could probably find little rowboats. I mean, people here obviously can go to and from uh, the lair, I would think. Some throat coat tea. I know. I'm drinking coffee. That might not be the best thing. I tried taking a cough drop on Thursday when I did the crafting stream. That nearly made me throw up because I was coughing so bad. So I've sworn those off. I probably could have gone with a different beverage, but it's so bad in the evenings. But I did miss that it says the entrance has 10 bandit reinforcements standing by. See the drum section. I totally missed that. There's an extra 10 bandit. I don't know if it's worth using bandits or not. We've already got a bunch of thugs. There's 26 thugs in here. With 4 of them manning 6 different ballistas. 3 ogres, 3 minotaurs, a first mate gladiator, and the frost giant. This is a lot of enemies. But each section of thugs are just operating like one ballista, which I'm still not sure how I want to go about that. If I just want to maybe make, like, maybe I'll do like a one group initiative would probably be the sanest thing to do. Like, pick one of the thugs and just have that be like, that's their grouping, and then they're all just going to fire that ballista when it's their turn. So I may just do each section, and then maybe if it gets down to like a few thugs. But I mean, see, I think even if they kill some of the thugs, but not all of them, like the other thugs probably just gonna like sit there. Like, I'm not gonna probably have them run up there and actually attack. They're just gonna be like, all right, well, oh well. Because I don't think they have much range attacks, and they've already got crew that can jump down and attack the ship as it passes, which is namely like the gladiator, minotaur, and then any other thugs or bandits I want to use. It does say that if there's a full 4 thugs, they could even have the 4th one use an action to ignite the bolt, dealing an extra 2d10 fire damage on a hit. Oh, interesting. So that's only if they're shooting at the ships does it deal the extra damage, and then creates the fire, which might be worth it, especially if the players are taking a lot of hits, and they can start like fire on the ship. Maybe we'll put a little fire icon on there, really light up fire under their butt. But it says if the ballista are attacking creatures, the 4th thug uses its action to help the shooter. In other words, I think that would give them advantage on the attack. So actually, if there's a full 4 thugs, they get to attack every round and have advantage on the attack. That's pretty nasty. Those things do 3d10 piercing damage with a +6 to hit, I believe. If 2 or more thugs manning a ballista die, the remaining thugs move to the closest ballista to assist. If no ballista can be fired effectively, the thugs flee to the border cliffs and fire their heavy crossbows. Does it have heavy crossbows? I'll be damned, they do. Only a +2 to hit, though. Jeez. They got no dex. They do have back tactics, though. Alright, so bridges can flip around. Cliffs can be scaled at 50 feet tall. Drums are the things I was going to want to change, where maybe the drums could do some kind of a big AoE buff or something. So the players might want to try to target those drums. They won't be able to see them, but they could hear them. And thus the drums would like embolden the others. Probably defensively give them some, advantage on saving throws or something. Kind of the equivalent of like having magic resistance. And that's just all those ogres do. And I was thinking of maybe just doing like 2 and separating them to where they have a big old radius that they can affect in a certain area. Would be size 60 feet might have been a little too small. Maybe we can do 60 feet. Bad thing is anybody jumping on the ship would be out of range if I did 60. I guess we could see what the old map looks like. See where they put those guys. Look how tiny this map is. So I take it these are like little circles. So there's actually one on the inner closest one. One there. And then one's up there. Oh, but there's a Minotaur. Oh, the Minotaurs also do the drums. Okay. I know, you guys are always playing Nursemaid to me. I appreciate it. I don't do enough of it. So that means I could put one here. Maybe? There's more room on here as well as doing it on this one. But maybe put one down here. Maybe I'll move these guys down a peg. And then I'll put this guy down there. What does that do for you? Yeah, it's about the same range, honestly. Which that would include these guys, but not include anybody back up here unless I put another drum circle up here. Where does it talk about the bandits? 3 or more drums are sounded simultaneously. The noise is loud enough to warn anyone in the Driftwood Docks harbor that foes are on their way. In addition, a reinforcement of 10 bandits arrives on initiative 10 of the following round. The bandits man ballista, jump on enemy ships, or fire their crossbows at the crew. Where are they arriving from? Bandits are, of course, the classic low-level minion stat block. AC 12, hit points 11, plus 3 to hits. They do have range attacks. Only 1 attack. Pretty much can't get any more minion-y than that. Once the drums have been sounded, the drummers run to the closest cliff and jump on invading ships. Okay, which is something I wanted to change, which is how the drums having like an ongoing effect. Which I don't think I actually plugged that into the stat block, did I? Because I had some kind of a drum thing on here. We were looking at this last week, I remember. Orc War Drummer. Yeah, advantage on ability checks and saving throws. You can honestly just copy that. So, oops, that's me copying my YouTube link. Is that copy, paste, there we go. Let's see, an ally that starts this turn within 60 feet of the drums and can hear the drummer gains advantage on ability checks and saving throws. As the drummer continues drumming. How many times can you use the word drum? And then for an action, use your action move to speed up for opportunity attacks. Alright, gains advantage on attack rolls at the start of the mark's next turn. See the drummer gets 1 ally 60 feet. Here Advantage. Attack roll. It's pretty easy. I don't know if I'll actually implement that or not. It might be too much to deal with. We'll see. I feel like rolling initiative for them. Really make the most sense with the trimmer here. So if there's one covering the entire ship, there's room. Like so. Yeah, and keep in mind, they can't even see very well from down there. It's just all cliffs. I know it's going to go crazy if I'm trying to target people, but it's supposed to be part of the challenge, I think. And there's a tower where the frost giant hangs out. A bowl of commanding water elementals. So here, I'll use the first time enemies are detected. It sends the elemental attack ship captains. And then he hurls rocks. Okay. So he can... So if they manage to defeat him, they can take this item. But it's physically going to be, I guess, near the town. I don't know if they're actually supposed to, like, hold on to this item or not. It just says outside the tower is a bowl, which the Jarl uses. I think enemies actually carry these items, don't they? Sneeze. Oh, thank you for your patience with me. I just melt into a congested nightmare. Yeah. Pain in the butt. Ugh. Let's see. Water elemental. Where is that? Those are pretty good, right? We've used a water elemental. It was an air elemental we used before. CR5. The Whelm ability. Multi-attack slam. Yeah, that shit's good. 100 hit points, man. And Conjure Elemental just means if you lose concentration, you just lose control of it, but it doesn't go away, I believe. Yeah, the elemental doesn't disappear. Instead, you lose control. The elemental becomes hostile towards you and your companions, and it might attack. An uncontrolled elemental can't be dismissed, and it disappears 1 hour after you summoned it. Players have been burned by this before. In Rime of the Frostmaiden, I believe. Somebody summoned an elemental, they lost control, and then they had to fight the elemental after the fight. Oof, damn, I rolled good on hit points too. 130, Jesus. How far can you cast this thing? Oh, it does say the bowl's about 1 foot in diameter and half as deep. Weighs 3 pounds. Holds 3 gallons. So it's like a bucket. Well, half as deep. No, it's not. It's not a fucking bucket. How does 1 foot in diameter, 6 inches deep, holds 3 gallons? Does that... That doesn't seem right. I have a 3-gallon bucket I use with my fish tanks. It's more than 6 fucking inches deep. Call shenanigans on that. Math. Or maths, as some of you might say. Is this a bowl or a bucket of commanding water elementals? What is the range? 90 feet. You can conjure an elemental 90 feet away. That is relevant. Oh, beautiful. They're definitely within range. And you would think the giant... Well, I don't know if the giant would be able to see the ship from back there, actually, because the cliffs are pretty big. So that's tricky. Might have to wait until the ship. May have to wait a round or two, which might be okay because there'll be plenty of going on. What do we think about maybe letting the ship advance 20 feet around? Is that too crazy? So right now its butt's touching the bottom. So let's say round one, it's there. 5, 10, 15, 20. It makes it to here. So we're still definitely between the cliffs. That would be round two, I guess, technically, because round one we'd probably start, with where it was at, which is the furthest south I can do. Unless the party does something monumentally clever, which I'm sure they'll try to think of to try and get closer before we do combat. 5, 10, 15, 20. So now we're visible, barely. And that would be the time I could summon a water elemental from the Jarl and start hurling rocks, basically. Would be once they make it up to that point. So 40 feet from their initial starting point. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. We've made it several rounds now. Rounds are going to last a while. Oops, what? Crash into the water there. We're going to have to probably angle the thing at some point. Nope, can't quite angle it there. Nope, I can only angle at those extreme angles. Shoot. It gets tricky. 5, 10, 15, 20. Maybe we'll do 25. Maybe 25 is a little bit safer. We don't want to go too slow. 25 would be half speed. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 10, 15, 20, 25. Sneak in Navy SEALs. I mean, yeah, if they want to abandon their ship and go in, that would definitely change the context of the fight. And I'm willing to hear it out. Also, Mac has that stupid giant shark that I gave him. Wouldn't be terribly useful here, but he can use it to split off and he's got that climb speed. He can just jump off anywhere and again split the party and go fucking Navy SEAL Marine mode again. Climb up a cliff and start doing cool shit, which I'm sure he'll do. I would definitely let him do that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 for the round. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm liking 25. Because 20, if you're moving 25 around, that tells the party, like, okay, we're actually going to get through this. But will our ship survive? And will we survive? One thing I haven't thought of is if they actually just go below deck and, like, hide underneath their ship. I imagine that the ship would take a lot of damage. Like try to pretend to be like a fucking derelict ship or something that's just floating, happens to be floating close. But if that's the case, the pirates would shoot at it, attack it, see if anything happens, and then they would have some people jump on and, probably try and knock on doors and see what's going on. Essentially, there'd be a lot of people jumping on the ship and doing it that way, which may work for the party's advantage. Surely they might have even some grapple ropes to be able to kind of hog tie the ship to keep it from just drifting around, or not. They seem content with having all the ships kind of crash into the rocks and stuff. Which I don't know if that's in the rules or not either. That the ship itself can very easily just crash into the rocks. It says that there's a skill challenge for getting to driftwood docks, but not like once you're there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else about it. And the seawater is dangerous. Water is filled with ripping currents and whirlpools. Water vehicles treat the water as difficult terrain. Well, there you go. So if it was moving at half speed, it'd be about 25. When a creature enters the water for the first time or starts its turn, they must succeed on DC 15 strength save or be pulled beneath the waves. Creature already underwater who fails a saving throw takes 2d10 bludgeoning damage being battered by debris. Okay. So it doesn't say the ship itself takes damage from being crunched in here, so I guess they just do the difficult terrain. It is going to be tricky to move everything one step at a time, though. I think we don't have a lot of tokens. The only thing I can think of is the people on the map and then the ballista here. In fact, I need to put more people on this map. So we'll put the water elemental maybe over here. Will be like kind of a... So it'll almost be like a two-stage boss fight, right? Or big fight. Where the first thing they have to deal with are these initial, ballista shots. And then probably the first mate jumping down with a crew and have that be the first fight for probably like at least two rounds. Because at the end of round 1, we can have them move 25 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then they're right in the middle of the cliffs. End of round 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And at that point, y'all Bluebeard. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that one in time. Can start hurling rocks. Actually, for the first action, probably be to summon the water elemental. I think it's a full action. And then can start hurling rocks after that and really make things pretty painful for the players and their poor ship. There's a tugboat. That's pretty funny. Tie ropes to the shark and let him pull them. How much that would actually help them, because the shark, it has the speed, but they don't need speed here. They need precision. And who knows, the party may decide, you know what, this is the time to jump off the ship and start fighting people on the cliffs. Going after these guys. I think Bluebeard's supposed to have a good amount of treasure. Yeah, a trunk. That's mostly monetary. 1,800 gold pieces, 4,600 silver. Collection of whalebone scrimshaw worth 500 gold, and then a bunch of potions. Potion of superior healing, which the Jarl drinks if he falls below half hit points. Nobody wants the DM to have to drink those potions. So shitty. It's like the easiest thing to do. He's also supposed to have a bunch of other magic items on him, but the party's gotten so much lately. He's got a ring of swimming, a tentacle rod, and then the bowl of commanding water elementals. I removed the tentacle rod because Toral's basically already got that. The ring I'm just leaving on him because in case he gets, I guess he could just swim in the water if he needs to. Mainly gonna be hurling rocks though. If he ever gets into melee range though, I'm gonna be swinging that beard around. That sounds fun as hell. Swing his beard hair. It's not set up quickly though. It's almost like getting shot with a ballista. It's actually worse than getting shot with a ballista. Yeah, it's good damage. In a 15-foot cone. But I would be surprised if the party ends up meleeing here. Can you move multiple tokens by clicking and dragging to select them and then move them as a group? Yes, you can. That's what I'll probably be doing to grab everybody. But, I mean, who knows what the makeup's going to be. Once the ship starts moving, people are going to be splitting off and doing all kinds of crazy shit. I do need to put their... let's see, where are they? Pirate Lords. Allies back on the ship. Random Hobgoblin. Orgus, Triton 1, and Triton 2. We can go and grab cheese, but I'm on there too. Wasn't sure what to call this chapter, by the way. It's just called like Pirate Lords and Kraken Priests or something. I'll probably name the episode Driftwood Docks because that's what this area is. And then the overall quest chain is... I'll probably just call Sea King Tentrix. I think these guys can all heal back up. I'm okay with that. Borges. I can't do his voice right now. Damn. Yeah, I feel like I'm worse than I was on Friday, which is really annoying. That was 21. Showdown with the Sea King. Yeah, which I haven't prepped that area at all. I don't know. It'll be interesting how long this scenario takes, right? I could see this actually taking only a session, depending on how much battle we do and how much the players just try to get through this as quickly as possible. Or it could take even 2 full sessions if the party turns into a big, they somehow get their whole ship disabled and they're forced to just fight their way. That could happen, absolutely. They lose the ship or somehow just do a terrible job of protecting it, and then they're forced to just get on land. And I would probably allow them to, once they make it to either side of these islands, to just find, once they defeat enough of the enemies, they can find a rowboat or something and just make their way to the final layer. But this is, they don't know it, but this is basically as far as they need their ship to make it, because I do plan on giving them kind of a different upgraded ship thing for to get them to the final area. But like I said, they don't know that, and they would much rather keep their ship, I'm sure. And obviously they've got a bunch of NPC allies and crew members and stuff. What do we think about just rolling initiative once for each thug grouping, and then using that to just fire the crossbow or the ballista from? I think that's going to save me a lot of sanity. And then individual dudes I will roll for the normal combat stuff. So it's mainly them just getting pelted by all these ballista shots. Although Sabra can start systematically taking them down with shatter spells, I'm probably okay with shatter just destroying a ballista. It might be a little powerful for shatter to be able to instantly do that, but it's kind of been her MO and her thing that she does, and I don't know, it's pretty effective. And there are a bunch of them here, so I'm not too worried about like losing my only ones. However, I think I would only allow some of them to attack at some points. So for this first 2 rounds, I would probably only do 4 of the 6 ballista, which would be 1, 2, 4, and 5. How far can I zoom out? Because they're the ones that all have line of sight right now of the vessel. And then once the party makes it to round 2, I might be able to add number 3 as one that can shoot them. How far? Wow, that guy's really far back. I think the ballistas only have a range of so much. What's the ballista? No, actually, it said 480 was my max, so 500 feet. Anything within 120 feet is normal without disadvantage. So it might be once they make it to the next round, I can add in number 3 as a ballista shot. But at some point, I would probably have to not be able to fire number 5 or number 1, because they're the ones that are like way out in front. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit fair with the line of sight and be like, all right, which ones can actually shoot you line of sight wise. It'll probably balance where they're going to be shot at by a round 4 ballista at least every single round. So it's obviously in their best interest to start taking those out for sure. But we can have boarding parties launch themselves at the party. That gladiator, he's a named character, so I gave him more hit points. He's got 130 hit points and triple attack. He's going to be a nasty dude for the party to have to deal with. And I can have him jump down with a minotaur and either some thugs or probably just bandits, honestly. I like the idea of just having bandits be dropped down there as minions. Good bandit thing, which I don't. Damn it. Let's grab some better bandits. Actually, I bet you the bandits are in the Sinister Secret Assault Marsh. Bandit 3. Yeah, Bandit 3 can work. So we can have those as part of the boarding party as well. Paste. Okay, so we've got 4 here. All right, so that can board, which probably I could do that at round 1. I may wait until round 2. Round 1 may just be getting fired on by the blade. It depends on how far deep the player's making the cliffs. If they make it into like the earliest, which I could attack them when they're a lot further away, technically. The problem is once we do that, I don't have a battle map for it. And I don't know how far I want to go into like theater of the mind, be like, all right, well, the ballistas or start shooting you from the cliffs. You're 200 feet away. You can only go 25 feet around. So now we just got to go through several rounds of this with the party being like, all right, well, as soon as we get this close, I'm going to do shatter. It just kind of falls apart for us, I think, if we don't have it as a visualization. Unfortunately, I don't really want to create that. I don't want, this map's already huge. I don't want to make it that much bigger necessarily. I could take it and just put it off the edge of the map if I wanted to put them further back, but that would also kind of slow the action down a bit. So I don't know. It does make sense that the enemy wouldn't necessarily wait until they're this close, but maybe not. Maybe they would let ships get closer. That way they can have, instead of shooting them from afar, they can wait until they're this close, and then they can have boarding parties come on while shooting them in the hopes of really tearing their ship apart. So we could argue that's the way they do it anyway. Yeah, I did that with some trebuchets with 1,200-foot range. It was boring as shit. Yeah. Right, so I think this is just going to be a lot more interesting and just worth having a fight for as if we're this close, even though the party would be like, wait a minute, we're how close to the cliffs right now before everybody starts? Like, yeah, well, nothing. And I can even have everybody hold. Like, the enemy will hold. You know, they're up there. They're feeling okay. They know the players are coming. And they literally are instructed to hold until the party basically enters the 2 choke point, basically the cliffs. And then once they enter there, once the nose of the ship gets in there, then they open fire and the crew starts swinging down and all that good stuff happens. I don't know if I'll technically be able to literally ambush the party. I'm hoping they would be able to do some kind of reconnaissance. I'm sure they'll do that. In fact, I need to put that stupid shark back on here. You know, maybe Mac will ride the shark and scale a cliff and see everybody, and that would get the party started. There's Sharky. Sharky! Hey, Sharky. Put that shark there, and Mac's probably riding the shark. It is the point of no return. Basically, from this point on, it's just pure main quest stuff. Because I can turn the Merid quest into a main quest thing with the fact that I basically need the ship that the Merid can offer in order to make it to the enemy in time. So that can become kind of a main quest thing. So this could be anywhere from 1 session to 2 sessions, I think. Again, depending on how much the party want to really slow down, throw down, and have this be a big battle. I realize we just did a big ship battle, but I think this one is different enough to warrant just it's worth doing. I think it's a cool map. It's an interesting situation. I mean, you feel like you've got to make it through like a fortification to get to the big villain, and this is kind of that. And depending on what happens here, may change the context of what happens in the layer. Fire to make port in Driftwood Dock, serve for a 10-day on the vessel before setting sail again. So you are a lot of it. You're designed to actually park your ship dock your ship here. Versus pulling up with a full ship into a floating layer. Crew is a mixture of humanoids. Like most pirates, crew of Tentrix layer are not particularly loyal. If outmatched, they flee. That's interesting. It's easy for characters to blend in. Provided characters wear suitable attire, they can infiltrate the ship. I love that idea. I actually love this idea. Which is going to make it tricky if the party really blows things up at Driftwood Docks. Can they still make it to, Tentrix's lair? Because I think some of our most fun moments, I think we can all agree from the campaign, is when the party is able to kind of heist or infiltrate an enemy base and have all kinds of fun shenanigans. Now, this one's not nearly as big as like a Sunblight or something, and I do plan on springing the trap of having the villain actually fully aware that the party's there, because again, this is a unique situation where it's a very main villain who has, intel on the party, knows about them, knows all their shit. That's not always the case with the dungeons that the party is taking on. There's a section called They Saw You Coming. If characters have noticed the entrance to Driftwood Docks, or if they make their presence known aboard the lair, the crew rush to battle stations. Characters are likely to be noticed by the lookouts, the entrance to Driftwood Docks, or the Goblin Lookout Area T20. I don't see how you make it to Driftwood Docks without some kind of notice, whether you've lied to everybody somehow, which maybe they do. Maybe they do that. Maybe they somehow change their entire ship. I think Master and Commander did that, where they like tried to fake it like they were a completely different kind of ship. Chris cited that movie last time. But once they get up close, that's the thing is, like, once you get up close, you're not really gonna be able to fake it anybody. I think there's gonna have to be a fight at some point. Area descriptions below assume the characters have not been spotted on their way to the lair, and thus life proceeds as normal for the crew. If the characters are spotted, you should adjust the description to reflect the current inhabitants and their actions. So I still like the idea of the party making it to somehow I want to have my cake and eat it too, which is that they have to fight their way here through the Driftwood Docks lair, but then they're able to just waltz into Tentrix's lair without having to have a big fight, at least right off the bat. I mean, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, James, but I think it actually is. Yeah, they mentioned that the fact that there's like a bunch of monstrous humanoids that basically work here. And in fact, that was something that's kind of built into Gottwald's, backstory, is the fact that Tentrix took out a lot of, the more non-human races and formed a lot of his Black Armada out of that. How many hit points does a ship have? Their ship has about 200 hit points. Ooh, somebody's got lair actions on the ship. But it's not Tentrix. Somebody called Karen. I need to look through this one. Yeah, there's lesser pirates here. Mainly all of the main pirate lords that the players have been fighting are normally all holed up here. So a lot of what I'm gonna have to change in this dungeon when I do put it together is the fact that instead of a bunch of those pirate lords, well, there's not going to be there because they've already defeated most of them except for Scummer, I believe, and Bluebeard is here, so Bluebeard's actually going to be one of the last ones they fight. But they took out the Storm Maiden, they took out Dirge, and they took out Desecratus, and then they will have taken out Frostbeard, although I don't think he has a place there anyway because he's always at Driftwood Docks. So Scummer is the only one that's still going to be there, which would be fun for Scummer, I think, to reappear here. Yeah, just the various pirate lords and their like people. Trying to find where this Charon person is. It's a Glyph of Warding that summons a white Abishai as a devil dragon creature. Yeah. One-eyed Minotaur. Let's get some of the bards. We don't need that. King Tentrix, bandits, Captain Scout. See, we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to level this place up too. Tentrix summons a colossal octopus. Pretty appropriate. And fights with Scummer, which is pretty powerful, I think. He casts Flesh to Stone, turning the colossal octopus into stone, blocking the entrance after them. Why would you cast Flesh to Stone on your own dude? Save it for the party. And of course, you can find nearby a spell scroll of Stone to Flesh. To remove said colossal octopi. Treasures, got elemental gem, a bunch of potions. Folding boat, I think I already gave him a folding boat. A pet monkey. Another foldable boat, okay. Some people they can rescue, which is good. Instead of introducing new NPCs, I'll probably think of some old NPCs that I can have be captured and put here. Maybe, I don't know what makes sense. Sombele might be somebody who's been captured and put here. Who else would have interesting story significance? The party would know. Maybe not the guy from the Styes. It would be. They'd have to be important enough. Callus maybe, although Callus now has a weird relationship with the party where he's not a fan of them. Charon. Wait, what is Charon then? Marinaloth. I don't know what that is. It's a Yugoloth. Marinaloth? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Marinaloth. Fuck is that? Okay, it does look like the fucking undead ferryman guy. The grim, gaunt captains of the ferries and river Styx. Yep, that's exactly what you are. Okay. Interesting. And he considers Tentrix's lair his lair. Hired by Tentrix to protect the ship. His lair actions regional effects. The lair's defense does not fight. Teleports away if threatened. He's got a pet homunculus. You'd think Tentrix would be driving the ship, but apparently not. He's got somebody else that can do it for him, like a true villain. He's got other people that can do that shit for him. Alright, it's not that powerful. Marinaloth. It's only CR3. Although it can teleport as a bonus action, that's pretty powerful. Gust of wind, control water, and control weather. It's a useful person to have on a ship. Once per day. Control the weather once per day? Yeah, you can come on the ship. You're very welcome on the ship. Yeah, we're going to have to mess with this dungeon a little bit. Mainly, with them doing probably as much fighting as they're doing here, I have a feeling I'm not going to want to have too much of a dungeon crawl in the lair. I think it's going to be more of like a social, little bit of exploration, and then mainly, excuse me, just kind of the big showdown boss fight, which is really what I want to do. Tentrix, Scummer, and then a bunch of just pirate minions. And then have maybe a Colossal Octopi or something can summon in there. But he's got the Merid Conch as well, which allows him to summon the Merid. is that? Yeah, he's in action to rub the conch. A cloud of thick sea mist flows out of the shell. At the end of the turn, the mist disappears with a flash from its lightning, and a merit appears in occupied space within 30 feet of you. Which I would not let Tentrix do the wish effect. I would probably just automatically have. In fact, I might not even use these rules. Just have it to be like if you rub it, then he just appears. Giving the villain access to the wish spell 3 times is a little much. Also for the party. But allowing you to just summon a merit who can help you is pretty damn powerful. So that would be another thing that could appear. And merit, which the party would be able to get their hands on this item. Yeah, merit's a damn CR11. Dude. Oh, shit. That's crazy. Yeah, over 200 hit points. God, it can also just summon its own water elemental, which is crazy. Spells aren't actually that combat good. He's got a bunch of utility spells. Detect evil and good, detect magic, fog cloud, tongues, water breathing, water walk, control water, gaseous form, visibility, plane shift. The only one he'd really be able to use in combat much is conjure elemental, water elemental. But he's got just a bunch of basic attacks that are good too. Jeez. That's rough. That might be a thing where, I mean, that would be a way to really make the fight a lot more difficult. But maybe, excuse me, maybe you only have to defeat Tentrix, and then the Merit's like, all right, he's dead. I'm not gonna follow his orders anymore. But you guys look like you can help me. Teleport all of us the elemental plane of water. Can you help me get my ship back? And then you can get your hands on a ship. I have to reread that motivation there, but that's definitely where I want to go with that. And then at some point, obviously, the party should learn from a dying Tentrix or somewhere in his room where the final area is, and really reveal the fact that Tentrix is actually a Kraken priest who's been, corrupted by the Elder Brain, which now controls Slarkrethel. I'll have to learn all of that. Very important story stuff as well. So I think next time, I think Driftwood Docks is kind of done. I don't know much more I can do here that I haven't really already done. But obviously, if you have any other comments or questions or things, please let me know about that. But I think, and a lot of it was going to have to be me pivoting depending on what the party does in this situation. Are they going to lose their ship completely and have to fight on land and then make their way to the rowboat or something? We can do that. Or are they just going to quickly make their way through this area and just play defensively? We can do that. Like, we'll just try to figure it out from there. And maybe they're supposed to dock their ship somewhere before they get to Tentrix Lair. I'm going to have to look at the map that I'm going to use and see if there's a way for them to bring their ship in, or if they're supposed to just dock outside the area and then take a little boat or something there. But I think starting on Thursday, we can start working on Tentrix's Lair as our next area to have to plan out, because that's going to take a lot more work, I believe, than the Driftwood Docks area. All right, my voice has not held up totally well, but it's been good enough. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this Monday edition of Crafting the Deep. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please do check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. Shouts to Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Zenicider, Eclectic Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Tyler, Nathan, Priscilla, Counselor, Andrew, The Elder, and Stephanie, Patrick, Jason, Ismail, Amat, Lumpy, Spud, Sharni, Warden, Harold, Unimona, LLC, Jamie, Reese, Tom, AJ, and gold patrons: RPG, Paper, Crabs, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Jerome, Nathan, Fast, like Tortoise, Scott, Rufus, Karen, Jerry, Glenn, Marcus, and Mark. I thank you all very much for your support, and I will try and rest my weary voice and see you next time.